Well, here's a tip for you. It's getting kind of cold out there, but the sun's still up and everything. And I'm going to wait for stuff to dry where I can put my caulking back down. But I'm going to leave my caulk gun inside because it's warmer inside than outside. If you leave your caulking outside, it can harden up a little bit and be harder to work with and press out of your gun and stuff. So whenever you can, leave your caulking inside in your garage, in a storage room, in a closet inside your house or whatever. You got really super cool conditions, and if your caulking is out in a really cold garage or outside and you leave it out here overnight and you think, oh, I'm going to use it tomorrow to caulk and stuff, and it gets down below freezing or something, have fun using your caulk gun then. Okay, so there's something for you to think about before you caulk, especially if it's cold outside. So while I'm waiting for that, what else am I going to do? Am I going to mess around and watch football, or am I going to go and install this three-way lighted switch? Oh, nice. A three-way switch, and it's lighted. I like that. And I'm going to install that in the garage. Every time I go out into the garage and it's dark out there, I go to reach for the switch and I like can't see it for a little bit. I have to reach my hand all around for it. And I thought, nothing doing. I'm going to get a lighted switch installed in there. And initially, I got a regular single pole lighted switch. And then I thought, hey, this isn't going to work because there was a light switch inside the house and one out in the garage. And both of them turned on the lights in the garage. Okay, I didn't check that out before I went to the store. So I was going to do this quite a few weeks ago, but now I went back to the store, I got this, and it's time to do that. So if you want to see me install a three-way switch and a lighted, or just a three-way switch, that's what this video is about, so stick around. Okay, let's go see if we can't get this installed, this three-way lighted switch in the garage. Mommy's out at a luncheon, and I thought this would be a good time to do it while she's gone. Yeah, see this, which one is it? That one turns that on and off, and I didn't realize that initially. I was like, okay, what's going on here? Because when it's dark, it's hard to see that switch. And see, when you come out of the house down in the garage, I would have thought the switch should be up higher. Look where they got it. They got it way down there. You got to reach for it down like that, and at night it's hard to find it. So that's why I want to put a three-way lit switch in there. Okay. The first thing we got to do is we've got to turn the lights off, and that could be the most difficult part of this project for me. The main electrical panel is downstairs. So back and forth I go. I'll find it and I'll be right back and we'll get started. Okay. Now this one I think was to the outside lights by the garage. Oh no. Those lights are still on. See, this is off. I'm gonna check that. Walking out here to the front. And they're off now. Okay, so that means there's two circuits. Son of a gun. There's two circuits in here, so double check that. Sometimes you get those issues by garbage disposal, and if you got a light switch next to it, if you got an outlet next to that, or, you know, things of that nature. I think I had one where there was either 2 circuits or 3 circuits in the kitchen, I forget now, and I had to find them all. Okay, so it's really important that you check that out. So now I've got to find the circuit for this and get that off. Okay, because the last thing you want is to work in here with hot wires. Now you might think, oh, you know, I'll be real careful. I'm not going to touch this. I'm just going to gently take this apart. Well, you know, accidents happen and you start messing around in there and touch the wrong screws on the side of this switch or something like that. You could shock yourself. Okay, so I've got to find that other circuit. Wow. You see, I initially thought the garage lights were just controlled down here. But I found out later they're controlled here too. And I didn't realize that initially. That's why I got a regular lit single pole light switch for this. Okay, I went back to the store, got the right one, and all is good to go. And I've never reinstalled a 3-way lighted switch. I think I've installed, well, maybe I have. Hasn't been for a while. But these are wired up a little bit different, and there's different wiring, different screws in here and stuff. So you gotta make sure you get a 3-way switch whenever you get someplace where you've got a switch controlling in 2 locations to a light. Okay, so I'm almost ready to get going. Okay, so I finally found the right breaker on that, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing I checked that. 2 circuits in this location. I got some barking dogs out here. I'll wait for them to walk past. Okay, I think the dog excitement's over. Take the switch plate off, and I've got both circuits off right now. Yeah, sometimes you get that. Now let's see if this is stuck to the wall. Sometimes you can just tap on this and get it loose, because they just repainted, you know, fairly recent. And you know what, before I take this off, I'm going to put a little pencil mark on the top and bottom of that, and that'll kind of tell me about where the next one should go. And I can adjust it too, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, now go ahead and undo these screws. Sometimes they have little washers, little cardboard washers on the back side that hold. And see, this one had the little washer, and the washer's still on this one, but eventually it's probably going to pull off. Okay, so now I'm going to pull this out of the wall like that. Okay, and what you're going to find is you should have 2, wow, look at that. You should have 2 black wires here and a red wire and the ground wire. And I do, but it's a good thing I'm doing this, because this black wire is split on the back side and the copper is showing. So I've got, just happen to have some electrical tape. Before I do that, I've got all the power off, so I'm fine. Just gonna take this ground screw, loosen that, and widen this on the back so I can try to get it off without cutting the ground wire itself.